So yesterday we did some karikas. The meaning goes like this. Just as the firebrand, devoid of motion, is without appearances and birth, so also consciousness, devoid of vibration, is without appearances and birth. When the firebrand is in motion, the appearances do not come from elsewhere. Neither do they, when the firebrand is free from motion, go elsewhere, nor do they enter again into it. They did not go out of the firebrand, owing to their not being of the nature of substance. In the case of consciousness too, appearances must be the same, for as appearance there can be no distinction. So, he is describing the firebrand. We see there the crooked and straight lines in that. They are not going away from it, nor they are entering into it. So also, when the vibration is there in the consciousness, creation starts, or we see the creation and the vibration is not there, then we don't see the creation. And finally he says, it is all only illusion. It appears, but they are not there. Because the consciousness is not taking birth. Because of Maya or ignorance, something is changing. What are changing? Matter and elements are changing. But consciousness is not changing. So, what is our nature? Our nature is consciousness. We are not changing. That he is going to tell. When consciousness is in motion, appearances do not come from elsewhere. Neither do they, when the consciousness is free from motion, go elsewhere, nor do they enter again into it. They did not go out of consciousness owing to their not being of the nature of substance. The lines that we see in the firebrand, it says, they are not substances, they appear. So also, though in the relative plane we see the creation, from the absolute plane it is only appearance. As we see snake on the rope or silver on the mother pearl, it is only appearance. That's why he gives that illustration. But only the thing is, the consciousness is not changing, elements are changing, and they are combining and they make so many names and forms. What are all the names and forms? They are the only combination of elements. If you separate the elements, no name, no form. Vacharambhana vikaro namadheyam murtiketyeva satyam. Is only just to talk, to speak, to utter all these forms. So, for understanding this and to practice it, sufficient mental strength is necessary. Because the mind has been trained in such a way, it catches only the outside objects. It is attached to the outside objects. And it has been coming in this way since birth together. So all of a sudden, to make it understand that this is all matter, it's not so easy. It will not accept in the beginning. Even it accepts mentally, it cannot experience. So again and again, even in Gita, the opponent asks, what is this? You are going on telling the same thing. The Atman is not having birth, it is not taking birth. Once you have told it is sufficient. Then he says, you see, even again and again it is told, it is very difficult to understand experience. That is why it has been repeated. In Brahma Sutras, there is a aphorism, Avrittir asakrit upadeshat. Avrittir asakrit upadeshat. That means the thinking of the Atman oneness or thinking of a particular deity, doing japam, etc., there should be repetition. Then the opponent is sitting there. He says, see, if it is told, he is not understanding and experience, what guarantee is there if it is repeated, he will understand. Then he says, it is not so. Again and again, by repeating, the mind understands and he experiences. Those who have experienced, they say that it is all only appearance. So, the experience will not come in one day. That's why avrittir asakrit upadeshat. The upadesha, whatever is given, that you have to repeat again and again. If you ask the opponent, if you take once meals, you are satisfied, why again you are taking? What answer he will give? No, I feel hungry. In the same way, when once you repeat Vedanta or the japa, the mind just goes a little above. Then the relative plane. As soon as you give up, but it comes down. So, again and again it is necessary to keep the mind in the absolute plane. It takes long time. They did not go out of consciousness owing to their not being nature of substance, for they ever remain incomprehensible, undefinable, incomprehensible, on account of the absence of relation of effect and cause. There is no effect, no cause. Because here the opponent is the dualist. He says, we see the birth of a body, that is the effect, are the fruits. And what is the cause? The actions that he has done. For him, he is telling, you see, the both are not there. Then you have to tell which is first, whether the effect or the fruit, whether the effect or the actions. You cannot tell. And they are, if you say, if they have taken birth, both of them should get destroyed at a time. If birth is there, destruction should be there. And if destruction means again they cannot come out as a body. So all these discrepancies are there, disturbances are there. That is why better not to accept the cause and effect. In the relative plane, we do accept. But if you want to enjoy the absolute happiness, you have to give up these things. And the scripture says, Yad bhavam tad bhavati. What you think, that you become. And for this we have given the illustration many times. That is Bramara Kitaka Nyaya. That Bramara Kitaka Nyaya. This we have repeated many times. So repetition is necessary. Now, the last sentence he says, just as when the appearance such as straightness are unreal, notions such as straightness is seen in the firebrand. Similarly, though they are unreal, they are seen in the firebrand. Notion of creation, etc., in consciousness, even when there is no creation, etc., is nothing but false. This is the collective meaning of the two verses, 51 and 52. Now he is going further. It is a settled fact that reality, that is the self, is but one and unborn. According to those who attribute the relationship of effect and cause to it, but some are there, though it is unborn, they attribute the relationship of effect and cause. For that, he is going to tell, as he has told the cause and effect are not there, that he wanted to prove. In the last verse, he told, there is no cause and effect. So, through the opponent, he raises the question. What is the question? According to those who attribute the relationship of effect and cause, why he says that opponent has told about? Because he wants to refute. What he wants to refute, that he tells first. Dravyam dravyasya hetu syat anyadanyasya chaivahi dravyatvam anyabhavo va dharmanam nopapadyate. A substance could be the cause of a substance, and another could be the cause of any other thing, but the souls cannot be regarded as either as substances or as some other thing different from all else. But the souls cannot be regarded either as substances or as some other thing different from all else. So, but the opponent, the followers of logic, they say the Atman is a substance. Kala digata manasi navadravyaha, he says. 9 substances are there. Out of 9, all the 5 elements, Kala dig atma manansi. Kala is time, dig is directions, Atma is the self, and mind. All these are substances, he says. And before creation, he is not accepting any cause. His Atman is not there. But now he is not the opponent here. He just wanted to prove that cause and effect relation is not there. So, the substance which is having parts becomes the material cause for another. The substance which is having parts, like clay, that alone, that becomes the substance and it becomes the material cause. But in Atman there is no parts, like ether, so it cannot be the cause. The qualities of substance are seen which are in parts that are seen in the whole. The qualities that which you see in the parts are seen in the whole. W-H-O-L-E, not H-O-L-E, whole. Whole. W-H-O-L-E, the complete one. If the yarn or thread is white in color, the effect cloth also will be white in color. That is, the qualities of the cause, they come into the effect. But it should be a substance and it should have parts. If both are not there, it cannot change. You cannot change ether. You cannot burn ether. You cannot cut ether. You cannot wet ether. What to talk of Atman? But ether is a substance. Though it is not having a form, it is a substance. The blueness we superimpose on the ether. If it is not a substance, a quality will not be there. And a quality stays in a substance only. What is the support of a quality? A substance. Gunaha dravyashrayam. What is a quality? It takes the support of a substance. Blueness, can you show only the blueness without support of a substance? So what is quality? It takes the support of a substance, then only we can see. But in your Atman, it is not a substance, it is not having quality, nirguna, nirakar, no guna, no form, but it is there. The mind is trained since ages together to see the form and name, a substance and quality. Those two things are not there in the Atman, that's why it becomes very difficult to grasp. You tell in any way, but again he will just come to the relative. He cannot jump to the absolute. Because mind is trained so. That's why previously I gave another illustration. What is the illustration? As you know, the Ganges river starts in Himalayas and it is merging in the sea in Calcutta, near Calcutta. That is called Ganga Sagar. From Calcutta it is some 40 miles. So, now what you wanted to do, the Ganges has started in Himalayas and it is about to merge in the sea. So, I will not allow. I wanted to take all the water in the Ganges near the sea to the Himalayas. Is it possible? In the same way this one. Since ages together mind is, now you wanted to all of a sudden take it there. How is it possible? It takes time. It is not a substance, it is not having qualities, but the Atman is not like a substance to become a material cause, nor the qualities of Atman are seen as material cause, and these followers of logic, they tell another small equation or say logic, gune gunan anangikarat. That means In a quality, another quality will not be there. A quality, blueness, in that another quality will not be there. That means, if you take not particular, in general, if you take some quality, in that quality another quality will not be there. Gune gunan angikarat. So why he is telling this? See, if you say the Atman is not a substance, all right, let there be a quality. In one quality, another quality cannot be there. You mix it and see, that is another thing. You are mixing so many qualities, that is another thing. But what is their rule? In a quality, another quality is not there. One quality itself is not there. No adjective in the Atman. How can you add another adjective there? So, and now he is going to ask. You see, the whiteness of the thread comes to the cloth. So, it is a quality. It is an adjective. But Atman is not having any quality. It is not a substance. So, gune gunanangikarat. That's why now he says, he is explaining the sloka. It is a settled fact. Reality, that is the self, is but one and unborn. Ajam ekam. Ajam ekam lohita sukla krishnam. Like that a sentence is there in the scriptures. Ajam ekam lohita sukla krishnam. Now the Sankhya comes. You see, you have told that our Pradhana is not mentioned in your Upanishads. In the very fifth aphorism of the Brahma Sutra, Ikshate na Shabdam. No, we don't find your Pradhana in our scripture. Now you see, Ajam ekam lohita sukla krishnam, that it is about our Pradhana. Aja is unborn. Ekam is one, Pradhana is one. Lohita sukla krishnam. Three gunas are there. How can you say it is not? Then he says, you see, we have to overlook. Overall we have to look. Not overlook, overall we have to look. Where it has started, where it is ending. There he says, for the fire, it is red in color, and for water, it is white in color. For the earth, it is red in color. He is telling the elements, and you are telling gunas. How the elements can be changed into the qualities? So what you say is not correct. In that way, he refused there in the Brahma Sutras. Long discussion is there. Ajam ekam lohita sukla krishnam. This is about our Pradhana. Why you have told that Pradhana is not mentioned in the scriptures? But here, Aja is unborn, Ekam is one. So, one and unborn, in that there cannot be cause and effect relation. Dravyam dravyasya hetu syad anyad anyasya chayeva hi. Dravyatvam anya bhavo va dharmanam nopapadyate. A substance could be the cause of a substance, and another could be the cause of another thing. But the souls cannot be regarded as either as substances or as some other thing different from all else. Because it is not a substance and there is no quality, it cannot be the cause for anything. It is eternal. It is only bliss. It is bliss when you say you have dragged it down. If you say the Atman is existing, it is knowledge, it is bliss. The moment you say, you have just changed the quality of the Atman. Because when what the scriptures say, there is no name, no quality, no form, nirguna nirakara, and these are the qualities, bliss, knowledge and existence. So the moment you say the Atman is existence, bliss, knowledge, absolute, you have dragged it down from its state. So there is a name for Lord Krishna. Achyuta. He never comes down. He never comes down from his state. Achyuta. That means, what is Atman? Neti neti. Bas, this much. The moment you say something else, you have dragged it down. That should not be there. So, now he says, it is not a substance. Then, what is this birthlessness? No parts to become a whole as threads of a cloth. He says, what is the question? What is this birthlessness? He has asked. So he says, no parts to become a whole as threads of a cloth. Threads are the parts. They become united and becomes a cloth. The quality and the possessor of a quality is not there. Quality and the possessor of a quality. Blueness. Where is the blueness? It is in the cloth. So who is the possessor? The cloth. What is possessing? Blueness. These things are also not there in the Atman. So, then it is whole, Purna, and one. That's why to refute the cause and effect, a general logic is given. What is the general logic? Vyapti. That is universal accompaniment. We have already heard. What is Vyapti? Universal accompaniment. When fire is there, then only you can see smoke. Without fire, there is no smoke. This we call universal accompaniment. In the language of logic, they say it is Vyapti. That is going to tell. Because there is no cause and effect in the Atman. Tesham. That he told this substance, it is not a substance and it is not something else. All these things he told. The quality like whiteness, which is not a substance, is seen. The cause for effect for a cloth. Now the opponent is asking, you say that in Atman there is no quality, it is not a substance. But we see the whiteness in the thread, it is a quality. And it is coming into the effect. So, why can't we say some quality is there in the Atman, it is coming into the form of birth or creation? Whiteness is there, so it is coming into the cloth. Opponent is asking, the quality like the whiteness, which is not a substance, it is not a substance, it is quality. So he is seen the cause in the effect of a cloth. Then he says, independently the quality cannot stay without the support of a substance. That he is going to tell. A substance cannot be the cause of a substance, and another can be the cause of another. But a thing cannot be the cause of itself. So many things already told. What he says, a substance can be the cause of a substance. From clay, it is having parts, so it can become a part. And another can be the cause of another. Threads are the cause for the cloth. And H2O is the only air or whatever you call molecules, they become water. Another, that is in subtle form, this is in gross form. But a thing cannot be the cause of itself. A thing, a substance, cannot be the cause for itself. Nor can a non-substance be observed in common parlance to be the cause of anything whatsoever independently. A thing cannot be a cause for itself, and then a non-substance, which is not a substance, be observed in common parlance to be the cause of anything whatsoever independently. Independently, he says. That's why here the opponent has asked, the whiteness we see in the cloth. So if I say whiteness is independent and that we see in the cloth, how can you say a substance independently or a quality independently cannot be the cause? That's why he is telling a non-substance, that means which is a quality, whiteness, be observed in common parlance to be the cause of anything whatsoever independently. The quality cannot be the cause of anything independently. Nor, so he has refuted the opponent who has asked, the quality like whiteness, which is not a substance, is seen the cause for effect as cloth. That also he has refuted. Because independently a quality cannot be the cause for an effect. It has to take the support. Where the whiteness stays, in the thread or in yarn. Without yarn or thread, you show the whiteness. We will give you 1 lakh rupees. Can you show? Cannot show. You give her.
Om Swamiji, I thought I heard you say the Atman has no quality, but we assign qualities, bliss, knowledge, and in all our chants, a lot of our chants, we use these terms when we say true, knowing, loving God, and we speak of these qualities.
We are speaking from the relative plane. We are in relative plane. We are superimposing these qualities on the Atman. We are superimposing these qualities in the Atman. But by nature, it is not having any qualities. It is not having any form. That's why in the scriptures it is described as Nirguna Nirakara. Now you are seeing a light in the dream. When you are closing your eyes, you are seeing a light. So, then how it has come? They say the Atman is self-effulgent. In the presence of the Atman, you are seeing the impressions of the mind as dream. This is just to show that the Atman is self-effulgent. A quality is there in the relative plane when you see the dream. But when you go to Samadhi, who is there to tell you what is Atman? No knower, no known, no knowing. Everything has become one. Just because the words and the speech cannot reach there. When you feel, you see, when you are sleeping, who will tell that you are sleeping? Huh? No knower, no known, and what is not. After getting up only you say. In the same way, when you are in Samadhi, this Trinity is not there. But in the relative plane, because the mind is trained in such a way, without a substance, without a quality, it cannot think of anything. So, there was a Swami that we have already mentioned about him, Swami Ramananda of Omkareshwar. So he went to Uttarakashi to another old Swamiji. And at that time this Ramanandaji Maharaj was very young. And then he asked that Swamiji, who was staying in Uttarakashi, very old, Swamiji, you tell me some of your experience so that it may be useful for my spiritual growth. It will be useful. Then he told, as long as you are having this body consciousness, the saint is telling, as long as you are having this body consciousness, at least 100 times in a day you have to bow down before the deity. 100 times before your deity you have to bow down to remove the body consciousness. How practical is? That means, as long as you are having this body consciousness, you cannot grasp a thing which is formless and qualityless. Same thing Sri Krishna says, Kleshodikastarasthesham avyakta saktajetasam, which is not having a name and form. It is very difficult to grasp as long as you are having the body consciousness. Viravapyate. So, what is your nature? It is not having any qualities, it is not having any form, but it is there. That is why it becomes very difficult to conceive, to understand. Somehow the scriptures, they cannot tell this is Atman, holding. That is why roundabout they go. They just, they show that where from the creation has come, that is Atman. Or You can say in the relative plane that it is existing and it is full of knowledge, it is full of bliss. Then when you say it is qualityless, why you should give three qualities? For this, long back I gave an illustration. I think recently also I might have told that a farmer was there, remember? And early morning he stood before his deity, "O Lord, grant me a horse so that I can ride on the horse." He has prayed and went to the fields. He was working in that fields. It was summer, very hot. Nobody was there around him. He was alone working in the field. And suddenly a horse came that side. It is a she horse. She was pregnant and gave birth. So, and some passerby has informed this to the in charge of the police station. Actually, the horse belongs to that inspector or somebody who is the in charge of the police station. So suddenly he comes to the spot where the horse gave a birth. So, mayor. So he sees round about, not finding anybody. But this man, the farmer, who has prayed early in the morning that they want a horse, he was working alone in the field and he was the inspector of the village. "Hey, come here," he says. So, take this mare's calf on your shoulder and come to our house. Then, because he is the inspector, commanding, he has took the calf on the shoulders and murmuring something. What is murmuring? "Oh God, you have misunderstood. I want a horse. I wanted to ride a horse and you have put a horse on my back." "You have misunderstood, oh Lord. What is this?" He is murmuring. So, you should not misunderstand about the Atman. That it is existing. You cannot say it is non-existing. You cannot say it is full of ignorance. It is full of knowledge. You cannot say it is full of sorrow. It is full of bliss. So, to make you understand, it is existing, it is full of knowledge, it is not ignorance, and it is not sorrow or difficulties. It is full of bliss. Just to make you understand, they gave these adjectives, but these things are not there. So there the farmer says, "Oh God, you have misunderstood." But here, oh self, you are always misunderstanding. You are understanding for something. That is why don't misunderstand. It is existing. It is not a thing like a son of barren woman or a sky flower. It is existing. Don't misunderstand. And it is full of knowledge. It is not ignorance. If it is existing, it must be existing like a wall. No, it is having knowledge. Then the opponent says, the animals also are also having knowledge. But the animals always, they bear the bad fruits of their past. So, they are in difficulties or sorrow, but it is not like this Atman. It is full of bliss and bliss alone. In this way to understand, not to understand in the opposite way, they have given the qualities. They say for a ordinary man to make him understand in the relative plane. But in the absolute plane, nothing is there. So, don't misunderstand. Don't understand opposite way. Now it is clear? So, the Vedantis, they are having their own methods, you see, to explain. They give illustrations. Then, through substance or some other thing, there is no cause and effect in Atman. So, through substance or a quality, there is no cause and effect in the Atman. In the Atman, there is no qualities, or it is not a substance to possess a quality, nor it can be union because of interdependence. It is completely detached, not having any connection with anything, not having connection with the cause or the effect. Now he is bringing that opponent who says actions and body. Actions are the cause for the body. So, first what you want to prove? Which is first? If you say actions, that is the cause and body is the effect, where from that actions have come, again you have to go to body. So, these two things are interdependent. What you will prove first? You cannot prove. So, no actions, no body, only Atman. No cause, no effect. Because it is, you cannot prove the interdependence of the actions and the bodies. It is one homogeneous consciousness. If you prove substance, then you can prove the union, cause and effect. But you cannot prove any substance like Atman. So, if you prove the union, now you say, what he told, there is a connection between the cause and effect. Now, you say a relationship between the cause and effect. First, you want to prove the cause or the effect or the union. If you want, what you are telling, there is a relationship between cause and effect. First, what you want to prove, the relationship or the substance? Substance you cannot prove. Until and unless you prove the substance, there is no relationship. So they are anyonyasya. So no relation, no cause, no effect. Only Atman, only Atman. Nor can the souls be regarded either as substances or as something different from all else in any way whatsoever, on the ground of which the self can be held either as cause or effect. Nor can the souls be regarded either as a substance or as something different from all else in any way whatsoever, on the ground of which the self can be held either as cause or as effect. Hence, the self being neither a substance, not different from anything, whatever we see in the whole world, it is just superimposed on the Atman. So, the Atman is not different from anything. It is not an effect. nor a cause of anything whatsoever. This is the idea. Is further explaining, thus external objects are not born of consciousness, nor is consciousness born of external objects. Thus have the wise settled the birthlessness of the cause and effect. Evam na chittaja dharmas chittam vapi na dharmajam evam hetu phala jatim pravishanti manishinaha. External objects are not born of consciousness, not attached to anything, but it is there. When it is there, let you be in your house. Why you are creating and making so much hospice, so much disturbance? Then he says this is eternal. It is not having any beginning. Just you have to get your own fruits of the actions. This is going on. That's why, as if taking the support of Maya, I create. But we are never telling, be in ignorance only, be in world only. Every time we are telling, you come to me, you merge in me, but that you don't want to. And simply complain, oh, you are giving so many troubles, you are giving so many difficulties. What is this? When we are not inviting you, through the scriptures, through the smritis, through the Puranas, you don't want any difficulties or sorrow, all right. You come to us, we will release of everything. But that the individuals never do. And simply complain, a God has given me so many difficulties, only difficulties and difficulties, sorrow and sorrow only. I am suffering so much. What is this complaint? When you are having a body, some difficulties will be there. You cannot avoid. So, better not to have a birth or a death. If birth is there, death will be there. If death is there, birth will be there. So go beyond. That the individual don't want to do. He never surrenders himself completely to the God. Individuals. And they don't want to contemplate on Him. They want all the worldly desires to fulfill and complain to God. So, it is all only illusion, finally. When you understand, it is illusion. When you don't understand, it is all headache. First, one thinks of a part, sub-commentary we are starting, then he makes it through action, he knows his thoughts. So, the common practice, that is in day-to-day life, is also not possible from the viewpoint of realized persons. He says, first the partner thinks the part in his mind, then he makes it. Through action he understands they have made a part. So, the common practice is also not possible, that is, to have an effect and the cause in day-to-day life, in the relative plane, everything is going on. And if you say no cause, no effect, how these things, all these relative activities will be going on? Then he says, from the viewpoint of a realized person, these things are not there. Do you think everybody has realized? Do you think all the persons of Bahamas will be coming to the only Shivananda retreat for practicing? All the worldly people, they become sannyasis or what? Everybody is having his own ideas. So, only from the viewpoint of realized persons, no difference, no cause, no effect, but not for all. The एवं यथोक्तेभ्य हेतुभ्य आत्मविज्ञान स्वरूपमेव चित्तमिति न चित्तजा बाह्य धर्मा नापि बाह्य धर्मजम चित्तम. Thus, from the reasons cited, consciousness becomes the very nature of the self, and the external objects are not products of consciousness, nor is consciousness a product of external objects. For every object is but an appearance of the essential nature of consciousness. What is there in the every object? Its essential nature is consciousness. This we have already told. Asti bhati priyam, of a particular object belongs to Brahman. A thing is there, a thing you are seeing, and it is useful to somebody or else. Name and form, they are changing. These two belongs to the world, the other three belongs to the Atman. So, you take the support of the name and form, all right, but without taking the support of existence, knowledge and happiness, how can you prove an object? You say simply, you tell name and form. So where are the name and forms? Some support should be there, some base should be there. A thing should exist first. Then we should know about the object. And the utility of the object also we should know. Then we give a name and form to the object. So, a thing is there always, but the name and forms are superimposed. This much belongs to the world, the rest belongs to the God. If the name and form have been changed, the existence and knowledge and happiness will be there in other objects. You cannot remove. You cannot say, I am not existing. I don't know myself. How can you say existing? You are not a follower of Buddha who says only void. He says everything void and going on talking something. So, you are not like that. Thus, from the reason cited, consciousness becomes the very nature of the self, and the external objects are not products of consciousness, nor is consciousness a product of external object. For every object is but an appearance of the essential nature of consciousness. Every object, he says, but of the essential nature of consciousness. In this way, the effect is not born of the cause, nor the cause born of the effect. Why? In nature, everything is consciousness. It is only the mental imagination. It is only an illusion. It is only a magic. The moment you start thinking of something, think of the devil, it is there. It is like that. Think of the worldliness, it is there. Don't think of it, it is not there. Thus, the knowers of Brahman have determined the birthlessness of cause and effect. The meaning implied is that they perceive the absence alone of cause and effect in the self. In the Atman, in the consciousness, there is no cause and effect. Only one thing is there. It is not born, it is partless, it is stable, it is not moving, it is eternal. No death, no birth, no cause, no effect. But it is there. But this much you should understand. If nothing is there, if it is, you say if it is not there, then you will not be there first. You have to prove your existence and then only you should talk. Without proving your existence, how can you talk? So, it is there as you are existing. It is existing, that is proved. So finally, when you realize what happens, they say, my existence is everywhere. My existence is the cause for the existence of this world. My existence is the cause for the rotation of all the planets. This experience you will be getting when you realize. So only one thing is there, one existence. In this way, the effect is not born of the cause, not the cause born of the effect. The individual souls and bodies as cause and effect has been refuted. No cause, no effect, this is. That is a proof, because besides Atman another thing is not there. Besides Atman, that's why we say, an appearance of the essential nature of consciousness, everything. So, no cause, no effect, no individuals from the absolute point. The Atman is devoid of birth and death. It is not a substance. It is not having cause and effect. These are the reasons. What are the reasons? He says, the Atman is devoid of birth and death. And it is not a substance. It is not having any qualities. These are the reasons that there is no cause and effect in it. So, no hetu, no phalatvam. He is refuting the dualist in Atman. The outside objects, like part, are of matter. It is only inert matter. Then he is asking, what about the outside objects? It is only inert matter. The individuals called dharma does not take birth from the Supreme. The individuals are not taking birth. The individual is not giving birth to anybody. It is all pervading. It is in everything. The jivas are of nature, of reflections. So the original is only one. Jivas are considered as the reflection in the pure mind. So, one sun is there and reflection, we see many. Previously we discussed, one sun is there and 1,000 parts are there, filled with water. So the sun is reflecting in every part. What are these 1,000? These we are called individuals. Now, you are the one individual. You are a part. A reflection is there. And you have broken your part. You have removed the ignorance. So, what will happen to your reflection? It goes to the original. Now, that original is reflected everywhere. So you think in this line, only one Atman is there everywhere. What difficulty is there? Use some intelligence, at least you should use. I am one reflection. I have removed my reflection. I have become one with the original. And that original is reflecting everywhere. So I see everywhere myself. Everything is in me and I am in everywhere. In this line, our Swami says you should think. So, the individual's called dharma does not take birth from the Paramatma. They are only reflections, he says. Now, further he is telling, what will happen to those who are attached to the fruits Now he is asking, because he being a dualist, he is asking from his side, what will happen to those who are attached to the fruits and actions, to cause and effect? This is being explained. I create the cause constituted by virtue and vice, merit and demerit are mine. It sometimes or other, by taking birth in the body of some creatures, I shall enjoy their fruits in this way. Where from he has taken this one, he has not written. That is, he is explaining the speech of the dualist. I create the cause constituted of virtue and vice. What is the cause? Virtue and vice is the cause. Merit and demerit are mine. At some time or other, by taking birth in the body of some creature, I shall enjoy their fruits. So some are there, they are thinking like that. What will happen to them? That is the question. What will happen to those who are attached to the fruits and actions? Then he says, see, the answer is very simple. As long as you are having ignorance, you have to take again and again birth. If you take birth, again you have to go to death. If you go to death, again you have to take birth. So you will be moving in the world only. If you think like this, that is going to tell. As long as there is a fascination for cause and effect, that I am having, I am doing good actions, virtue and vice, I want to enjoy the fruits. So as long as you entertain this fascination, this particular idea, so long do cause and effect come into existence. That means again and again you have to take birth and death. When the fascination for cause and effect ceases, there is no further springing of cause and effect. So if the fascination ends, if the ignorance goes away, then there is no cause and effect, no birth, no death. Those who think from the body the actions are produced, and from the, but this is told by the opponent. But you, the proponent, say no body, no actions, no cause, no effect. But they think like that. What will happen to them? Then he says, those who want to realize, for them, he wanted to remove this idea of cause and effect. Now he is distinguishing those who want to realize their self, those who want to experience the Atman. For them, he says, as long as they maintain this idea of birth and death, or the idea of cause and effect, or the idea of actions and fruits, so long again and again they have to take birth and death. That is explaining, as long as there is the desire for cause and effect, meaning as long as there is the superimposition of such a notion on the self, so long cause and effect spring up, so long merit and demerit, and their results will operate continually. When the fascination for cause and effect, born of ignorance, is got rid of by means of perception of non-duality, as explained before, just as an evil spirit is got rid of through the efficacy of incantations and medicine, then the fascination ceases and cause and effect do not spring up anymore. So, because of the ignorance, superimposition is there. Because of the superimposition, you are experiencing cause and effect, actions and the fruits. But in relative plane, when the evil spirit catch hold of somebody, so they bring a tantric. He'll be having very peculiar form, big matted hairs and so much of tilak, and holding so many things in the hand and chanting doom dam, something he'll be chanting. And he comes with the neem leaves, he chants so many of that, and the spirit goes away. Because you see, the spirit, it cannot hear the sacred sounds. That's why it leaves. And what this tantric does, it takes the spirit, puts in a bottle, and then dig a pit and he just covers it. It will not go again anywhere. But the thing is, because of the evil deeds, they have become the spirits. And in that particular life of a spirit, they cannot do any good chanting, they cannot hear the chanting, they cannot eat properly, only difficulties and difficulties. That's why if some grace is there, then they go to some good persons and request them, do something for us. This previously we have explained, a Swami of Uttarakashi and Swami Brahmanandaji. They released many spirits because they come and request them. So, by chanting, by spell, the ghosts or the spirit are removed. So, you also should chant something to remove the ignorance. Through the efficacy of incantation and medicine, then the fascination ceases. Fascination of cause and effect, birth and death. So, if you are attached to the body, if you are attached to the mind, if you entertain some desires in the mind, then your fascination will be fattened more and more. So he says, try to remove this ignorance. Yadi hetu phalodbhavas tatha ko dosha. Then again you see, he is coming forward. He says, if the effects and the cause is there, the actions and the fruits are bodies, what is harm? Again he is asking. First is ask, what will happen to the people, persons, aspirants, those who accept these actions and the effect as the body. Now, he again is asking, if they are accepted, what will happen? What harm is there? If cause and effect spring up, answer follows. Yavad hetu phalavesha samsarastavad ayatah. Kshine hetu phalaveshe samsaram na prapadyate. Now he says, because of ignorance, you have superimposed this cause and effect. As, as long as one is completely absorbed in cause and effect, so long does transmigration continue, birth and death. When the absorption in cause and effect ceases, one does not undergo transmigration. So, this is the result. Now it is left to you. whether you want to be in transmigration or whether you want to be with God. That is left to you. You do whatever you like. Huh? They say everything and they just leave to the individual. Yatechasi tatha guru. What you want, that you can do. So, those who don't want, those who are not happy with the transmigration, they strive hard. They do all the practices. They think of the Atman, Sravana, Manana, Nidhyasana, etc. Somehow or other, they come out. But those who don't want, they will too. You see, they are also having some devotion. Those who are having worldly desires, we cannot say they are devoid of devotion. They are having. But all their devotion, prayers, practices are concentrated for the world enjoyments. So, God says, enjoy as much as you like. But God will be giving the objects of enjoyment. In that way, slowly his faith and Shraddha increases towards God. So a point will come, a time will come when he is fed up with the enjoyments. And he gives up everything and completely surrenders to the Atman or God. Then progress will be more. Until such time as one's absorption in cause and effect is not got rid of through right perception, transmigration persists without diminishing. He says it is not even diminishing. It is not coming down. Meaning, it becomes further extended. Again, when the absorption in cause and effect ceases, then one does not undergo transmigration, since there is no cause for it. So, ignorance. If you want to get attached to the cause and effect, you are welcomed. Many are there to welcome you. Our Swami used to tell, you see, all the old people, aged persons, they are attached to the body so much. They don't want to leave this body. But if at all they leave, they will get another fresh body. With full the force of vital force, effects will be there in a young body, baby. And everybody likes it, babies. Everybody invites, and so much birthday cakes will be there. And so much drums beating, everything will be there. So, if he realizes, I am going there, I will be having so many invitations and so many birth cakes, so many will be liking me. He knows. Still, he don't want to leave this body. That is the attachment to the mind and desires. Previously, I told an incident. Whether you remember it or not, I don't know. It is just, I think, I was, say, some 7 years old. So we went to our grandmother's village. In those days, a grandmother is the owner of a big house. So outside a big house was there, having many rooms. In those days, the rent for the whole house is 2 rupees. 2 rupees. Such a big house. And it is outhouse, and we used to stay in the main building. So at times I used to go there because they are, and he was a teacher. He was getting some money, I think some 40, 50 rupees monthly. He had a father. The father, he is, I think, 92, 93 years old. He cannot walk. He cannot see. He cannot hear. But they are serving him. So what happened one day, the children, they were taking some fruit, the orange. So some oranges are sweet, some are sour. He is sitting there and he says, I am smelling the sourness, give me. See? He cannot see, he cannot hear, he cannot walk, but he can smell. He says, I am smelling the sourness of the fruits. Somebody are taking the fruits, he give me. This incident I remember. So, what I mean to say, at least at that age, if he is having some discrimination, he can sit and chant the name of the Lord. That he cannot do. No training. That is more essential. But because of the trend of mind, their, say, emotions, their feelings are towards the world and world only. He says, the abhinivesha, the resolution they are having, because of the resolution, if they accept cause and effect, what bad will happen? That is the question. Says, if the resolution is removed or it has not manifested, then what will happen? That is the question put by, if the resolution is there, what will happen? If it is not there, what will happen? Kshine hetu phalavesya. So, that he has explained, if you are having ignorance, and if you are having the resolution, and if you are having the superimposition, you have to come and go again and again. That is the answer. Now, further we are going. You wanted to tell, now the opponent is asking, you wanted to tell about the changeless Brahman, which is Kutastha and non-dual. Then in common practice, how you are accepting the birth and death? You wanted to prove the changeless Brahman, and in the relative plane you are accepting the birth and death. What is this? He is asking. There is nothing different from the self that is unborn. How do you speak then of the origin and destruction of the cause and effect and transmigration? Nothing different from the self. It is not, it is unborn. Then, how do you speak then of the origin and destruction of the cause and effects and transmigration? You are telling nothing is born, and you wanted to destroy the cause and effect. Why? That is the question. He says, listen. Samvritya jayate sarvam shashvatam nastitena vai sadbhavena hajam sarvam uchchedastena nasti vai. Only due to ignorance, he says, from the relative plane of thinking everything seems to be born and is not therefore eternal. From the relative plane of thinking, everything seems to be born and dead. Therefore, it is eternal. From the absolute plane of perception, everything is unborn and there is therefore nothing like destruction. So, what I say, I am telling from the relative plane. In the relative plane, seems to be born and death. But from the absolute plane, nothing is there. That you have to understand. Samvritya, samvaranam, samvritti pertains to ignorance. So, commentator says, what is the samvritti? Ignorance. It is the worldly outlook in the relative plane. According to it, everything is produced. Because of ignorance, everything is produced. Therefore, that which is within the realm of ignorance is never eternal. Which is in the realm of ignorance, he says, is never eternal. Therefore, the transmigration characterized by the origination destruction becomes further extended. He says, when that ignorance is there, I told also, samsara. Samsara means Sri Gatau, simply slipping from up to down to the children play, what is it is called? Sliding. Slider. So, this is samsara slider. Going. Why? He says, because of ignorance. But from the point of view of absolute reality, everything is the unborn self alone. Therefore, owing to the absence of creation, there is nothing like destruction of any cause or effect whatsoever. This is the idea. From the absolute plane, there is no cause and effect, no destruction, no birth. But where there is ignorance, there birth and death is there. So that he is going to tell, through ignorance everything takes birth, but because of ignorance only. If jnana agni dabdha karmani bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. Only the knowledge, it burns off all the actions. When the actions are not there, no more birth, no effect, no cause. Ajnanena avrutam jnanam tena muhyanti jantava. Because of ignorance, all the persons are deluded. Very clearly he says, Sri Krishna. Same thing he is telling here also. As long as ignorance is there, the cycle will be going on. Birth and death cycle. And ignorance, in ignorance, in the realm of ignorance, nothing is real. Everything is unreal. From the absolute point of view, everything is birthless and changeless. Should be accepted. So, things are not real. Without imagination, the destruction is not there. So he says, things are not real. Without imagination of birth, there is no destruction, no death. Is not. So, seeing what has been told, what now he is telling, Purva Paralochana, without imagination, destruction is not there for the cause and effect. Now he says, by cogitating on the previous topics and now present topics, Purva Paralochaniya, he asks a question. Atman is not having birth and death. He is asking the question. Because it is changeless, nor these things can be attributed to another. You say, Atman is not having birth or death. It is changeless. So you cannot attribute these things, birth and death, to something else. Because it is non-dual. It is only one thing. It is all-pervading. Another thing is not there. So where you will take this birth and death or cause and effect? You cannot take anywhere. So, when birth is not possible, you should not talk of birth and death. See, you say, only one thing is there. And the birth and death and cause and effect, you should not attribute to something else. Then he says, you should not talk of birth, cause and effect. When you mentally and you should not talk of birth and death, but we do accept because we want cause and effect. So, if you say for a non-dual thing, if birth is there, then we want the answer to understand. Let us know, he says. In non-duality, there is no cause and effect, no birth and death. That you are telling. But we want the answer for birth and death that we are seeing. That is the question. Then only he told, you see, because of ignorance, you see, in the realm of ignorance, eternal things will not be there. So, what is the result? He says that in the realm of ignorance, you see the birth and death. Since creation is not there, there is no destruction from the absolute point. But in the realm of ignorance, you cannot tell that everything is eternal. So, now it is left to you. If you want to accept ignorance, birth and death will be there. If you don't want to accept ignorance, there is no birth and death. He has asked it. In one thing, how there can be cause and effect or ignorance? We wanted to know. If ignorance is there, these things are there. If ignorance is not there, they are not there. Very simple answer. Since creation is not there, there is no dissolution. Seeing a rope, now we see, he is explaining. How nicely explained. Seeing a rope in front and seeing the absence of snake because of a discriminating person is there, he is seeing rope as rope. He is not seeing the snake. Discriminating person says, snake is not there. It is only a rope. Why you are afraid unnecessarily? So the discriminating person says, snake is not there, rope alone is there, why you are afraid? So no world, only Brahman is there, why you are in ignorance? That the discriminating person is asking. For a deluded person, but he is deluded because he could not see the base, he could not see the rope. He runs away. See, this fellow is catching him. And there is no snake, only rope is there. But he says, the only snake is there, and he runs away from him. Because he is not having discrimination. He is not seeing the base. In that particular context, the words of discriminating persons are not wrong from the view of undiscriminating person. What the undiscriminating person is doing? He says, he brings him, this is the rope, this is not the snake. But that fellow says, I am seeing snake only, and runs away. So, from the point of view of undiscriminating person, what the discriminating person is telling, it is a fact. It is not wrong. So in the same way, now so also the absolute is changeless. Telling and explaining does not go against the relative birth and death. First what he asked? You are telling only absolute, no birth, no death, no cause, no effect. But why you are telling? This is from the discriminating person to the undiscriminating person. But since the undiscriminating person not able to discriminate, that only Brahman is there, he goes towards the world only. So, that previously also I told, in Ramayana, there is a doha. In Tulsi Ramayana, there is a doha. There it says, because of the bad effects, bad vices in his past life, you tell 100 times that come and do japam and bhajan with us, he will not come. How? Just as a person with fever, high fever, even if you give him sweets, he thinks it is bitter. So a man who is having all bad impressions because of his past, you may tell 100 times, this is only rope, no snake. He says it is only snake. Runs away. So what is that doha? That doha is there. In the meaning is like this, that because of the fever, he will not taste the sweet as sweet, but it tastes as bitter. In the same way, for a worldly person, for a man with bad thoughts, nothing enters good. No God, no bhajan, no japam, no meditation, no yoga. You do whatever you like. He says. That he is telling. ఇంకా అంతవరకు రాలేదు. ఎక్కడ? యథోక్తానాం, యథోక్తనం ఉంది. Yeah. So what he says? So also the absolute is changeless. telling and explaining and experiencing. He is telling also, he is experiencing also, does not go against the relative birth and death. So, where is the differentiation between the discriminating person and not discriminating person? That's all. But from the point of view of absolute reality, everything is unborn, self alone, therefore, owing to the absence of creation, there is nothing like destruction of any cause or effect whatsoever. This is the idea. Now, further he is going, because of ignorance that everything is born has been told. Now he is further explaining that. Because of ignorance that everything is born. Further he is explaining, dharma yaiti jayante jayante tena tattvataha janma mayopamam tesham sacha maya na vidyate. The souls that are thus born are not born in reality. Their birth is like that of an object through maya, and that maya again is not existent. So he says, maya is not existent. Huh? Because of the maya, birth and death is there. Now here, he clearly writes, maya is ignorance. So, in non-duality, there are no two things like ignorance and maya. Those cells and other objects which are imagined to be born thus are born from a relative plane of thinking. The word iti is indicated of the relative plane already mentioned. Thus, within the realm of ignorance, are they born and are not born in reality. For the birth of those objects mentioned above that takes place in the realm of ignorance is like that taking place through maya. Hence, it should be understood as similar to maya. Within the realm of ignorance, first he says, ignorance. They are born and are not born in reality. In the ignorance, they are born. In reality, they are not born. For the birth of those objects mentioned above that takes place in the realm of ignorance is like that taking place through maya. The ignorance is maya. Hence it should be understood as similar to maya. The ignorance is similar to maya. Only because of the ignorance the birth is taken place. If ignorance is not there, so for this also previously a room is there and it is dark since ages together, let us say. Just if you take light into the lamp into the room, darkness has gone. It may stay since ages together. But the moment you take the light, darkness has gone. Jnana deepena bhasvata. Sri Krishna says, just by the lamp of knowledge, everything is removed. Iti, they are seen. This iti word is explained as famous in relative plane. The birth and death are famous in relative plane. Evam prakar. Samvritti is ignorance. Through the word iti, the samvritti is ignorance, it is told iti, through iti the word, that means ignorance is there. Only because of ignorance, the individuals are seen and born. Individuals are seen and born, he says. Why you say seen? Because of ignorance, we see many individuals. If ignorance is not there, Only one thing, one consciousness you see everywhere. In reality, they have not taken birth. Tattvataha, in reality, is told that he is explaining Paramarthataha. That he says, कहाँ है परमार्थता?
परमार्थतो जायते।
हाँ,
ते तत्त्वतः परमार्थतो जायते। 512 first line.
स्वयं अच्छा तत्वतः परमार्थतो न जायन्ते. In reality, nobody, no Atman is taking birth. So the birth and death, the cycle, it is only for the ignorant, and to see the birth and death also is ignorance. Even the birth is due to ignorance. If we say it is real in absolute sense, if you say the birth is real in the absolute sense, that means the birth is there and death is there, then what happens? Yat punastat samrutya janmatesham dharmanam yadhoktanam yatha maya janma tatha tanmayopamam pratyetavyam. It understood, he says. What to understand? Within the realm of ignorance are they born and not born in reality. For the birth of those objects mentioned above that takes place in the realm of ignorance is like that taking place through Maya. Ignorance means through Maya the birth is there. Hence it should be understood as similar to Maya, and he says it is not there. The Maya is not there, the ignorance is not there. But you are imagining. Maya nama vastu tarhi. Again it goes telling further. Maya nama vastu tarhi. Naivam. Sacha maya na vidyate. Maya it avidyamanasya akhya. Then there is a thing called Maya. Opponent is asking. Because you are telling the birth and death are cause and effect are through Maya. So something should be there. Through Maya means some action, birth and death. So effect should be there. That you are telling Maya. So Maya should be there. No. The Maya is non-existence. It is not there. How can you say it is there, it is not there? Because of ignorance, you are telling birth and death. If ignorance is not there, birth and death is not there. And if birth and death, a cause should be there. That you are telling Maya. And again you are telling Maya is not there. You are a wonderful fellow. The thing is, you see, the Maya is having a beginning, anadi.
Doesn't help.
Anadi.
Doesn't help.
Not have a beginning. It is not having a beginning. Or ignorance, it is not having a beginning. But it ends. When you get knowledge, there is no Maya, no ignorance. So, you cannot define, you cannot tell it is a real thing. You cannot tell it is an unreal thing. If you say unreal thing, it should not be there. If you say it is a real thing, it should be there. Both sides. That is why it is not having beginning. That's all right. Maya or ignorance. But it is having an end. So, we say Maya is not there. Whoever talks about that, they are having. Whoever talks about Maya or ignorance, they are having both Maya and ignorance in them. I am in bondage, I am in difficulties, I am very in sorrowful mood. All right. We do accept the ignorance in the relative plane. Because of ignorance you are feeling sorry. Now he says, Maya nama vastu tarhi naivam sacha maya na vidyate maya it avidyamanasya akhya. Now clearly he says, this many they don't accept. They accept Maya as different and ignorance as different. So, they say Maya is in Ishvara and ignorance is in Eva, and they want to prove duality. Huh? Is in Jiva. So they accept duality. That non-duality never accepts. Then is there a thing called Maya? No. That Maya is non-existent. The drift is that it is name of something that does not exist. See, if a name is there, a thing should be there. Without a thing name, how can a name comes? But in day-to-day life, we see many things. Things are not there, but name is there. Daily we use. Horn of a hare, name is there. And then son of a barren woman, name is there. A sky flower, name is there, but no object. So the Maya also is something like that. Only name and a name, but it is not a subject or object. But in the Atman, no name, no form, no ignorance, no Maya. Maya at least is having a name. But Atman, what is there? That is there, that is universal, your existence. But this much Vedanta. So now again he is asking, how can the birth of those objects be compared to Maya? That we will do again.